Hello, everybody. Welcome to Premier League score predictions round 13. 13, unlucky for some. Not me, Mikey, because I won for once last week. 6-3, only the one bob on, which I got, which was Leicester versus Chelsea, which was good for me and not for Steve Cooper, which we may hear about later on. So, 6-3 win for me. You still lead, Mikey, but I've closed the gap in both disciplines here. You lead 7-5 on the week to week, and you lead 79-76 on the aggregate. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello, Ben. Yeah, we're now entering that crazy time of the Premier League season where it becomes a little bit more like the Championship, where you're playing at least 3 times a week. Injuries are mounting up, so we're going to start seeing some strange results. And let's face it, we saw a few of them in match round 12, didn't we?
You were witness to one of them, but we'll leave that as a cliffhanger for later in the show. Maybe the strangest result of the entire Premier League season. Anyway, you guys need to be across this and in front of these strange results with your own predictions in the comments. Go in the description. You can copy and paste all the fixtures. We love to see your predictions every week. We love to hear your criticisms, not of mine and Mikey's football knowledge, but our geography knowledge without fail every week. So there will be more geography on this show this week. Give yourself 1 point if you get a correct outcome. Give yourself 3 points for a correct scoreline. Give yourself a bonus point if you get a correct scoreline that has 5 or more goals. I mean, what can I say about this first one here, Mikey? It feels like a South Coast matchup here. It's Brighton versus Southampton. Away you go.
Yeah, it's very nice. South Coast matchup. That's what we'll call it. A stripy derby. Yeah. Two sides with very different seasons so far. Brighton, another fantastic result for them at Bournemouth. João Pedro's back and he's looking more like his old self now. He was excellent in that game, a fantastic assist and a goal as well. Matoma also on the score sheet with the most Matoma-looking goal you'll ever see. But Belieber is suspended in this one. He's been really important. He was a little bit unlucky. He got a second booking and it really probably wasn't a second booking, but they can't overturn it. Duncan Hinshelwood might be back in this one. Southampton can definitely take some positives from that game against Liverpool. They competed really well and they scored 2 goals. Goal scoring has been a problem for them, but they're now 5 points from safety. So they'll be looking at games like Brighton and not seeing it as a free hit. They'll be seeing it as a game that they need to get a point from, but I can't see them doing it. I'm going for Brighton 3, Southampton 1.
I'm going to do something silly here because I've just got Brighton's results. Brighton are a bit mental at home. Okay.
Yeah.
2-3 against Liverpool in the FA Cup. 2-2 against Wolves. Do you remember was that the one with the weird breakaway where they had about 7-on-1 and they managed to concede a goal from that position? Obviously drew 0-0 to Ipswich, as we well know. They drew 2-2 to Nottingham Forest at home as well. I think they've got a weird home result in them. So I'm going straight in for a bonus point here, Mikey. I'm going to get it out the way. You said 3-1. You ready for this? I'm going to say 3-3. Brighton 3, Southampton 3. I think it's going to be the most ridiculously open goal fest. By the way, if it is 3-3, Southampton will probably be 3-1 up and concede 2 goals right at the end, the way their poor old season's going. But I'm straight in for a bonus point there, Mikey, with a 3-3. And I am up first for Brentford versus Leicester. And so we're filming on Tuesday here. We would expect, if Leicester are making an announcement about a manager being fired on a Sunday, that something's going to have happened by the next game, at least an announcement. But my correlations and things that relegate clubs, particularly in the EFL, size, owners, chaos, and bad luck. And we got a bit of chaos at Leicester, and that doesn't look great at the moment. So I've got to back Brentford then, Mikey, for that reason. And let's go comfortable, and maybe we'll have a watching brief for whoever the new Leicester manager is going to be. I'll go Brentford 2, Leicester 0.
Yeah, I'm also going for the Brentford win. I'm going for 4-1. I see an opportunity here for a bonus point, but because Brentford just scores so many goals, especially at home, don't they? And they managed to get that away point. They worked really hard to get that away point at Everton. A rare 0-0 for them. But yeah, I could see them scoring some goals in this one. No Norgard, he's suspended and he's an important player. But yeah, Leicester in limbo. So yeah, that's why I'm going for a bit of a chaotic result in that one.
And you're up first, Mikey. It is Crystal Palace versus Newcastle. Newcastle obviously played last night, lost at home to West Ham. Bit of an odd one.
Yeah, that was an odd one. And yeah, Crystal Palace were much improved at Aston Villa. It looks like they've finally worked out how to play with Ismail Assar. You get him up on the halfway line and have him spinning in behind defenders because he is absolutely rapid and can finish at pace as well. And Palace, yeah, they were really good in that game and quite ambitious as well. They took the game to Villa at times. And Eberici Eze could be back for this one as well, which would be a real boost. Newcastle were just really flat against West Ham. And it was a weird one because they had more time off, didn't they, after the international break? And obviously they've got the two Brazilian midfielders who obviously had to travel a long way. But yeah, they just didn't look their normal selves. They've got Wilson back. He came off the bench. He can maybe help share the load with Isak during this festive period, which would be helpful for them. But yeah, I can't pick a winner in this one. So I'm going for 1-1.
Yeah, that's a scribble there, my end. I was going to take a 1-1 as well there, Mikey. Can I just push back on something you said? That Aston Villa recorded 3.11 XG in that game against Palace. So
yeah, they missed a penalty, didn't they? So
that's true. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know how sustainable conceding that many chances and scoring a couple of goals on the breaker. But you're totally right. Against Ismail Assar, either play him on the break or play him in the Championship, and he'll absolutely fill his little old boots. I wanted to take the 1-1, so I'm gonna, being it's not Roy Hodgson-y looking Palace anymore, I'll take the Desmond, Mikey. I can't separate the two. I agree with pretty much everything you said, and I would have come to the same conclusion. So I will take the Desmond. And I'll go Palace 2, Newcastle 2. Oh, damn. I'm first on Ipswich again. And it's a tricky trip to Nottingham Forest. Oh, I'd like to be going second on this one, Mikey, because then if you did the lovely thing, I could do the not lovely thing and be the bad cop as usual. I'm going to assume you're going to be the good cop anyway. Ipswich have had a lot of games where they've played well and not got a lot of 3-pointers. Maybe Manchester United was another one. It's not a problem to play well against Manchester United and get a point, but it's a problem to consistently play well and not win games. Mikey, I can't see Ipswich going to Forest and getting the win, but I can see them getting something. I'm going to take a 0-0 in this one. Forest 0, Ipswich 0. And I think some of the travelling tractor boys might be happy with that, given Palace coming up on Tuesday and a 3-game unbeaten streak started. 0-0.
Yeah. Those tractor boys who are, no doubt, a few of them will be enjoying Hooters in Nottingham on Saturday lunchtime. They will take a point. Ipswich fans will take
Hooters.
A point.
Hooters gets a mention today, ladies and gentlemen.
Potential sponsorship here, Ben. I'm going for Forest 2, Ipswich 2. It's another one where I'm going with my heart here because I was thinking about it and I was like, but Ipswich, we always create chances and we always have periods of the game where we're dangerous and we can play on the counter attack and Liam Delap. But then I remembered that they've got Murillo and Milenkovic,
two centre backs, really,
and they're just a partnership that seems to work. But on the plus side for Ipswich, Amari Hutchinson up and running. He's in the goals and he was quite streaky at times last season, wasn't he? He'd go quiet for a few weeks. And
Mikey, I don't think Morgan Gibbs-White is going to play from what Nuno was saying as well, which might help Ipswich.
Yeah, that is a bonus. Yeah, I think Forest, maybe this is, I think your result is possibly the more likely of the two because Forest are really strong at the back at the moment and maybe not so connected going forward when they haven't got Morgan Gibbs-White. I'll probably offend some Forest fans by saying that, but yeah, I'm going to go for the draw. But obviously, neither of us would be particularly surprised if Nottingham Forest turn up and turn us over.
Can I just say, right now, this is not the conversation for today. Ipswich lose at Forest, but Ipswich beat Crystal Palace.
Okay, yeah, and then
that works for
it's a
me.
good week. Yep,
That absolutely works. Works for me, brother.
Blue Monday is proudly brought to you in partnership with our friends at Atwell Solicitors, your ideal legal partner for work on property or business law. Their client care has repeatedly been recognised as outstanding, and they are people-focused with a plain English approach which sets them apart. They have offices in Ipswich, Colchester and London, and to find out more, head to atwells.com.
You're up first, right, Mikey, for Wolves versus Bournemouth, and give Wolves a goal straight away because you know what I'm going to say, Matthias Cunha, wow.
Yeah, incredible. So as some of the viewers will know, I work on a show called Netbusters, and we show every single goal from the Premier League weekend and some other action. And then at the end of the show, we'll have the top 5 goals. And Matthias Cunha has been the best goal 2 weeks in a row. And this week he was also number 2 as well. His first goal, it was a ridiculous assist to him and just a fantastic touch. So yeah, he's caught fire. Goal scoring hasn't been a problem for Wolves all season, has it, Ben? They've scored 20 goals now. That's only 4 less than Liverpool, for goodness sake. That's crazy. But you can never write off Bournemouth. And I fancied them to beat Brighton because I think they're really strong at home. I was a little bit surprised by that result, even though obviously Brighton are a good side as well. But I think that they're maybe just going to have their little sticky patch here. And I'm going to go for Wolves to score some goals again and win comfortably. I'm going Wolves 3, Bournemouth 1.
I've got to back Wolves as well. You know what I'm like for a trend, and when I see a player that hot, you just know he can carry a team to win. And Mikey, that'd be 3 wins in 3 for a team that basically hadn't won for the first couple of months of the season. So I will also back Wolves. Do you know what? I think I might, Bins, we're both doing it, and I've got nothing to lose here. I'll go for a bonus point, and I'll take a 3-2 instead of a 3-1 and play this very tactically. Again, we're not down on Bournemouth, but it's just the hot hand and the home advantage, I think. West Ham versus Arsenal. This is a bit difficult to call because if Arsenal go to Sporting tonight and win and keep a clean sheet, then we're going to be saying, okay, right, Arsenal are back there, focused again. Here comes another winning run. But at time of recording, we don't know that outcome. I dare say if you've got Saka and Ødegaard both fit and playing all of the games, that increases the chances greatly. But then West Ham had an excellent win last night. But I've got to back Arsenal here, haven't I? Let's go for a 2-1 win to the Gunners. West Ham 1, Arsenal 2.
Okay, that's a scribble for me. I had Arsenal 2-1 as well. I'll change it to... I'll go West Ham 2, Arsenal 3. I'll go for a bit of a goal fest at the London Stadium. A London derby, this one, of course, Ben. Not a huge amount of distance between the Emirates and the London Stadium. But yeah, fair play to West Ham. I don't think we need to apologise to their fans because I don't think many of their fans were predicting them to go to Newcastle.
No,
but
brilliant
yeah,
win.
I think I read somewhere that they covered more ground than any side has all season. So yeah, if you can't be really good, run really far, and that will count for something.
That will always count for something, yeah, for sure. Chelsea versus Villa. We turned circle on these two, where probably 2 months ago we'd be back in Villa in this one, but I suspect you're going to call a home win here.
Yeah, I am, because Chelsea just pretty efficient at the moment. They were decent again at Leicester. Jackson just looks reborn this season. He such a composed finish and nearly a fantastic assist for Madueke in that game as well. Chelsea should have been more than a goal up at half time. It took them a long time to get 2-0 up, and then Leicester pulled one back right at the end. But yeah, Villa, while you said that they did create chances and they missed the penalty against Crystal Palace, they never really had full control over that game. And I think they've maybe lost a little bit of confidence and they're just a little bit disconnected. But they've had fantastic wins in this fixture at Stamford Bridge 2 years running. So that's food for thought for you there, Ben. But I'm going for Chelsea 2, Villa 1.
I might take your food for thought then. I might take the draw in this one and, Emery to come up with something clever to blunt Chelsea. But I do like Chelsea at the moment. I don't know. It's a good matchup between Maresca and... are they going to get the point? No, that was my instinct. I'm going to go for it. I'm not going to backtrack here. I'll take a 1-1, Mikey, and Villa to kind of halt their poor run. Speaking of poor runs, Everton have not scored in the past 3 games and not won in the past 4 games, and they head to Manchester United. Obviously, we were very heavily on Manchester United as Ipswich fans this week. They weren't very good, but you can see the kind of plan that they're going to have going forward. And I suspect any bounce they're going to get will be slightly delayed. So I'm going to back them to win this one. Based on Everton being goal shy and home advantage, Mikey. So I think I'll go for the shutout, and I think they'll win it 1-0. Man United 1, Everton 0. First win for Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, I'm going for his first win as well. I'm going for 2-0 here. They, as you said, they're not going to become great overnight, are they? And this new system is going to be hard on some of the more experienced players, shall we say, the likes of Casemiro, Evans and Eriksen. It's not going to suit them as well as it will the likes of Kobbie Mainoo and Garce, for example, who might come in this game. Everton not conceding, but they're not scoring either, are they? And the fans are starting to get restless. And yeah, this one looks like a likely home win.
Well, go on then, Mikey. Explain the myth that are Spurs, because you were present for Spurs winning 4-0 at Man City. But I suspect there'll be plenty of people in the comments, and I don't blame them, will say, okay, Spurs 0, Fulham 2 or something in this one, because they've lost to Palace and they've lost to Ipswich, and yet they've beaten Villa and they've beaten Man City. Spurs Fulham, Mikey. Spin the wheel.
Yeah, I did kind of say, didn't I, that playing against teams like Manchester City might
I think I may have laughed at you when you said that.
Yeah. it is crazy, though. In the first 10, 15 minutes or so of that game, they were really under the cosh, and it just looked like only a matter of time before Savinho was going to set up Haaland for goal number 1. But he was denied a couple of times, and then literally the first time Tottenham went into the final third, just a fantastic ball in from Kulusevski and a nice goal from Maddison, who...
How good is that Kulusevski
in this game? Oh, he's fantastic. He's
brilliant,
been one of the best players in the league this season. I think maybe if you put Mo Salah aside, I think there's an argument to be made for Kulusevski being the top man. But there is a real fly in the ointment here now for Tottenham, and that is Vicario being injured and the likelihood of Fraser Forster coming in to replace him in goal. And that's a big issue for them, because obviously Vicario is a world-class shot stopper, but he's also very, very comfortable with the ball at his feet. While Forster they'll be a bit more comfortable defending set pieces, I imagine, than with Vicario, but maybe a little bit more worried about the shot stopping and the playing out from the back. But yeah, Fulham, we got both of these teams wrong, didn't we? Fulham, they'll hope that it was a bad day at the office against Wolves. And in this Fulham team, Ben, there's a lot of Arsenal connections. So maybe a lot of players that will be bang up for this game. But on the balance of things, I think coming off the back of that 4-0, I think Tottenham will get the win, but I don't think it'll be straightforward. So I'm just going for a narrow 2-1 win.
Shall I flip that just to cover the possibility? Yeah, let's do it.
It's not that unlikely, is it? Fulham are good as well.
I just want to cover both sides of this, so there's no public apology needs to be made next week. Spurs 1, Fulham 2. I mean, I would like to see Spurs, go on a winning run, but it hurts your heart if you ever do that, get too invested in Spurs. God knows what it's like to be a Spurs fan. Let us know in the comments. So I will go for the Spurs. If they put Spursy in the dictionary yet, they must have by now, mustn't they? We had enough usage to warrant that. So I'll just go for the silly one. I'll flip Mikey's scoreline and gone for Spurs 1, Fulham 2. Right, massive game. Liverpool, Man City. And I'm going to read this out quickly, just so we've both got the info on the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel community tab. We've had a poll up a couple of hours. It's already got about 500 votes, Mikey. And 15% say this will be a draw. 15% say this will be a Man City win. 70% of people who voted say this will be a Liverpool win. So we've both got that information. Go ahead, click on the community tab. You can do it even while you're watching the video right now if you're on your mobile or on your iPad or whatever. Just flip across and go and have your say and vote in there. And who am I to ignore the fine people voting on the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel community tab? I better go for Liverpool then, hadn't I? I went for the big bounce back from Man City. I think I said 3-0, I think, possibly. So that's a 7-goal swing I was out from the weekend. So I'll take one of my...
Point, shouldn't it?
It should be, shouldn't it? Yeah. Actually, that's not bad. We should do that like at the end of the season, just like one chaos week where you get minus points for being goals out. I think Man City will score, but they're not defending very well, Mikey, although you're going to know way better than me because you literally saw them at the game at the weekend. I'd take a 2-1 to Liverpool. I think Mo Salah plus where Man City are at the moment is a home win. And I will also ask you the question very quickly and give me a yes or no answer. If that is the case, and it goes to 11 points, are they catching up?
I don't think they will if it goes to 11 points. But I have been wrong on Manchester City in the past when it's looked like they're out of it. But it's just it's the Rodri thing, and how easy is it going to be to find a suitable replacement in January? Because Gundogan from the eye test doesn't look like he's up to speed anymore. It really looks like that year away from the Premier League just looks like it was about 4 or 5 years. He really struggled with the pace in that game. They could have De Bruyne and Grealish back for this game, but history hasn't been kind to them at Anfield over the years. They haven't won at Anfield in a Premier League game, and in fact, I think any game when there's been fans in the stadium since 2003. Ben, Nicolas Anelka scored the winner for Manchester City that day against the Liverpool side that he wanted to play for.
That's a better mention than Hooters. Nick Anelka, I'll take that. I know we're both big fans.
But generally, Ben, these games end in draws. Liverpool have only won 1 of their last 9 Premier League games against Manchester City, but 5 of them were draws. So I'm going to go for that draw here, especially as I think both teams would probably be fairly satisfied with it, because Liverpool have got that cushion on Manchester City, and Man City probably just want to stop the rot, and a draw at Liverpool will give them some confidence. So I'm going for 1-1 in this game as well.
Makes a lot of sense. Get involved in the comments. That is your 10 Premier League games for round 13 this weekend. Get your own predictions down there in the comments. Give yourself a point for correct outcome, 3 for a correct scoreline, and give yourself a bonus point if your scoreline comes in and has 5 or more goals. Watch out for the socials, because when I hit stop on this video, Mikey and I will discuss what the hell we're going to do next week in a 3-game week in the Premier League. If you've got suggestions on that, let us know in the comments. We could do a double shot, or we could try and go a little bit early with the midweek round and see if we can catch you up by the end. But whatever happens, there will be some Premier League predictions next week, and we hope you join us for them. We'll see you soon.